Do you think that I should use the blur effect for my background or no effect?
No blur.
Okay.
Let people see what's behind the curtain. Don't be so mysterious, you know? Hello everyone, you might have noticed that we didn't ship in December. And that's not because we forgot or we didn't want to, but it's because we were working on something a little bit different for you all.
So we have a fresh new arc for you, but you'll find it looks kind of the same. Startups tend to move really fast, and we're guilty of this as well. We get excited about the new cool features, but we don't take the time to focus and polish the already existing things. So there was a point in time when you were able to customize your browser. My browser was bright pink, but there was nowhere to click to create a new tab.
Right. I remember the questions. Some good basic.
How do I make a new tab? But my browser looks great though.
So we decided that at the end of the year, we wanted to put a bow on 2022 by gifting you all and ourselves with small but mighty improvements that make a big difference. So what are the 4 Ps? We called them paper cuts, polish, performance, and productivity. These 4 things defined the kinds of stuff we worked on, and we worked on over 100 different tickets in these categories.
And why are we the ones who are sharing this with you? Well, I'm Alexandra, and I lead the fundamentals team, and we focus on the core, high traffic aspects of the browser.
And I'm Adena, and I lead the membership team, and we learn from you all and try to report back findings to the design and engineering teams so they know what to work on.
We've both been here a very long time, coming up on 3 years in a little bit now.
It's true.
Little contention here.
Yeah. It's unclear which one of us started first. We're both vying for the number 5 employee position, but I would like to share some proof that I actually joined first. So here's Alexandra joining, and then me welcoming Alexandra. So yes.
It's okay. I will concede, but I will also say that during Adena's welcome call, I also was there. So we really both started around the same time.
Yes. So we both have felt a lot of these paper cuts or these issues with polish over the course of the 3 years we've been here, which has made us very motivated and excited to improve it all for you over time. And it made it pretty clear like what was top of mind to work on for this sprint.
Yeah. And some of the paper cuts we're really excited to unveil. You won't even notice. And the other ones you might notice. So for example, one thing that really bothered me was in the browser, sometimes fab icons would disappear. And fab icons are that little image next to the tab title in the sidebar. Now, this was the perfect storm of a lot of different issues compounding into just one symptom. We focused on it, we fixed it. You should see all of your fab icons moving forward. They will not be disappearing anymore.
Another one of my favorites was the loading indicator. So whenever you load a page, you might notice there's a little loop that goes around the address bar that indicates that the page is loading.
Or you might not notice it.
Or you might have written in and said, we don't have a loading indicator, and that's because it was so subtle. Here's some complaints about the loading indicator over time. It just goes up and up and up, and this raw number is actually pretty big. This is an important problem, right? Like you need to know if your page is loading. Is it an internet problem? What is it? But it wasn't big enough for us to dedicate engineering and design time for when we were building, boosts and, live captures and all these other really cool features. And yet it lingered over and over again. So that's what the 4 Ps was all about, is how can we find these little moments and make sure we work on them? Because otherwise we wouldn't probably prioritize it later.
Yeah, or even the smallest example is the shadow layer of the command bar did not have rounded corners for months. We barely even noticed this. But if you look at the illustration, you'll notice that on one side, there's a tiny little harsh edge, and on the other, everything's beautiful and rounded. So we've addressed this. We've fixed all things big and small during these 4 Ps, and we're excited to share them with you.
So you might be wondering, how did we find, hundreds of tickets to work on during 4 Ps? So when you all write in, sharing bugs or feedback. If it's a really big problem, we work on it right away. We read it, we're like, let's get on this right now, or we pass it to a designer if it's relevant to what they're currently working on. But sometimes you guys write in about these great little finds that are problems, but that we don't have engineering or design time to work on immediately. And so the membership team reads all of these and puts them in what we've called like highly reported paper cuts, and we start to kind of confirm, yes, this is a paper cut, we've heard it many times, it's worth working on. Just when we have the time, we will do it. And so when it came time to work on the 4 Ps and to pick a set of these, we read the inbound from all of you, thank you so much, and we said, what's easy enough to work on in this 1 month period that has the highest impact? So that's how we collected and then addressed the issues that you sent in as paper cuts. And we've gotten over 35,000 submissions of feedback over the last 6 months. That is crazy for a startup our size, so we're just really thankful that you all care about improving the internet as much as we do. So hit the update button if you have not already, so you can get the hundreds of improvements that we've shipped. And kudos if you can find more than 10 of them. If you catch all 100 of them, you should win a prize or something.
So thank you, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Are we allowed to say that still?
I think we're getting close. January 9th, little